Recce loadout, what it is and why it's important. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. This is kind of a video response to Garand. He did a Recce loadout. Way more graphics, way better edited than mine. He's super professional, super awesome, but I wanted to show you guys, motivate you guys, and tell you what I have, why, and why it's important for a Recce loadout, a reconnaissance loadout. This is not a short-range patrol. This is not neighborhood defense. This is not an assaulter's kit. Notice no body armor, just a chest rig. Why? What is this Recce thing? Okay, Recce is reconnaissance. What is reconnaissance? It's gathering of intelligence, gathering intel, scouting. But it's not short range, it's long range. Harken back to the long range reconnaissance patrols of Vietnam. It's a heavy loadout, see, got a big pack. That's why you carry a lightweight chest rig. Notice no battle belt, because I want to go lightweight. I want to be able to move fast. There's a lot of things that are very important with this loadout. So let's get started. You guys know, you guys have seen the Recce rifles. 1:6 variable vortex optic on this rifle. Standard, everything else. And you want it, right now it's just some etc. stuff poured on here. I will put natural vegetation and stuff like that. It's just to break up the outline when you are behind the rifle. One important thing to not forget is either don't have a front scope cover, just have a flash kill, or don't forget to camouflage inside your scope cover. This is see that camo netting there inside the scope? That is a homemade flash kill. All I did is put some camo netting and then I pushed the scope cover on over it because I need to get a flash kill for this. But anyway, Recce rifle, lightweight, maneuverable, camouflaged, and with a variable optic is the best way to go, I feel. Because, with backup irons of course. Magnified optic, because you're in a reconnaissance role, right? You need to be able to look out there and see what's at a distance. So, enough of this. Like I said, I don't have all the cool editing a Garand does, but I still want to talk about a lot of things. Let me put this down a little bit so you can see more of the kit. Secondary, right here, 6 mags across the front. I like keeping it light and not having a bunch of stuff sticking out here because I don't want it cumbersome. I want to be streamlined, I want to be thin, I want to be smooth, I want to be able to move quickly over rough terrain. Like Garand talked about, if you go hiking and you go hiking 10, 20 miles, whatever, down a trail, it can be difficult, right? Well, reconnaissance, a lot of times you're not on a trail. Most of the time you're not on a trail. You're cutting through this kind of stuff back in here. Very, very difficult to maneuver, and you don't want a bunch of snag hazards. You don't want to snag up on anything. So one of the things also, you can see the handle right there, a machete. That's just a Kershaw machete. It's nothing fancy, nothing special, but it works really well. And you see how I'm fairly well camouflaged. This is ATAX FG. Works well in my AO, my environment. You need to find out what camouflage works in your environment though. One of the biggest things to do is to break up this head to neck interface here. That's why boonie hat and just throw some jute on it. Doesn't have to be perfect, like my pack. It's not all juted up perfect. I just put bare minimum jute because I can use natural vegetation to supplement. But there you go. You see the pack. And like he talked about in his video, go check it out. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend, if you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to him. He has like 2 million subscribers. So, he doesn't need the subscribers as much as I do as far as reaching people and empowering people and uplifting people. But he does a great job. Okay, what more about this kit? Okay, so adjusting your load. Internal frame pack, just like he was talking about. And the ability to adjust the load. I like most of the weight on my hips most of the time, but sometimes you can cinch up these straps and put more weight on your shoulders. That's important to be able to distribute your load depending on if your hips are getting tired out, if you get, hot spots or something like that, put more weight on your shoulders for a little bit, and then loosen them up to relax it. Very important. So this video, I'm not going to go into the contents of this pack. I'll do that on another video. But let's continue on with the rest of it. I will take the pack off. Set it aside. Okay, so chest rig, lightweight, no plates, no armor, no body armor, right? Because I don't want to carry the weight when I'm out here moving through this stuff, breaking trail. Ounce equal pounds, pounds equal pain. You don't want the weight, trust me. Bare minimum. But you got to have what you need to survive. That's what we're going to talk about, the contents of that pack in another video. I will talk about, that may be on Patreon. I may put it here on YouTube. I don't know. I usually don't do videos like this on YouTube because of the algorithm and stuff like that. But you know what? Sometimes you guys need to see this stuff too. So around here in the Pacific Northwest, staying dry, staying warm is very important. And he talked about layering. That's very important. Base layer, you know, layering up. This is just a blouse. I don't have a waterproof system on me right now. That's in my pack right there. I got a Gore-Tex jacket in there, Gore-Tex pants, poncho, wind layer, all those kind of things. Yes, socks, all that stuff he talked about, very important. But we'll get to that in another video. One thing that I think is important, he didn't talk about, but maybe he doesn't use them. I don't know. Gaiters. Gore-Tex gaiters to keep your pants, lower pants dry when you're moving through this kind of brush. Gets really wet around here. And then what's another aspect of it? Here, let's go down closer. Good quality footwear, right? These are Salomon GTX 4D GTX backpacking boots. What's the difference between a backpacking boot and a hiking boot? Backpacking boots are made to take the weight, to be more supportive when you're carrying a load. So you don't want hiking boots in a recce roll. He talked about good quality boots, but he didn't really go into the specifics of that and why. Good quality, stabilizing boot. There's a lot of good ones. My favorites are Oboz and Salomon. Selwa makes good ones. Loa, there's a lot of good ones. Merrill makes some good boots. Check them out. But a backpacking boot, not a hiking boot. Okay, enough of that. Camouflage, when you're moving through this stuff, is very important. He talked about multicam working in a variety of environments. Yes, and it will work around here okay, of course. I like the ATAX FG. It works fairly well. I also have multicam. I also have my Solter's ghillie that I made and I posted up on Patreon how to make it. And this hat was part of it. It has a hood. It has the front cut out so you can carry a plate carrier and all this stuff like that. Or I could wear it with this and I would have it in this bag. It's one of the things I would have in that bag. So let's talk about some other things. Secondary, not carrying a battle belt, so it's right here. Is it the best location? Depends on what you like. I like the ability to protect it so nobody can get to it. When I'm sitting here and I'm in a fight, my elbow's protecting it. Nobody can grab it. Is this the best holster? I don't think so, but this is a tactical tailor holster that I added a little retention tab to. Quick, easy, lightweight, simple. Keep it simple, stupid. That's one of the things. Tourniquet, you see that right there? Tourniquet. This has a thin hydration bladder capable. Right now I have it empty with the exception of some electrolyte stuff in the very, very bottom of it, as well as my water filter, because I like having some things and I have some calories in there. Very important, because if for some reason I get into a problem and I need to ditch my pack has almost everything in it. I need that pack, but if I have to ditch it and run for some reason, at least I have some calories, some ability to get water, I have ability to defend myself, etc. So, what are some other factors in long-range reconnaissance? Mostly stuff in the bag. We're talking map, compass, lights, red light, to read your maps by. He talked about that really well. So, actually, just a sec. Okay, some of the key elements. I'm just going to keep this glove off because I got to push the camera and stuff like that. Some of the key elements of a long-range reconnaissance patrol is you got to remember you are stand alone. Your squad members, team members, yes, I get it. But you are out there in this stuff in the middle of nowhere. You have to have everything you need to provide for yourself. You got to have food. You got to have water and the ability to get water, aka clean water. Filter it, whatever you want to do, whatever your method is. Everybody, we all live in different AOs, area of operations, different areas in the United States. The loadout for a recce role would be completely different if I was in Arizona, in the scrub brush of East or West Texas, or if I was, say, in Alaska. It may be a little bit different. Actually, my loadout here would work fairly well in Alaska. I'd probably add some more warming layers, but things like that. So you got to have a sleep system. You got to have a cover for it. Tents are, I don't like tents. Tarp is so much easier. Tarp and a hammock and a good proper sleep system. The ability to stay dry and stay warm is vital. You got to stay dry. You got to stay warm. You got to take care of yourself. What is the biggest thing, I think, when it comes to preparing for a recce role, reconnaissance role? Fitness is 100% absolutely key for this. You cannot carry this stuff through that for extended periods, day after day after day, if you are not physically fit. So you got to be physically fit. Functional fitness. I talk about it all the time in my videos. Very, very important. All right, so reconnaissance. Head on a swivel. Big time. You got to be aware of your surroundings. You are reconnoitering. You are investigating different areas for those non-military types. Scouting. You are trying to learn and gather intel about enemy size, locations of different things, a potential target, a potential threat. You want to check them out, basically. Go check them out to check out and to see what level of threat they might pose to you. One way. I'm trying to civilianize this. It's difficult to do sometimes, but you need to be light, you need to be fast, you need to be fit. That's why no plates. All right. Part of being self-sustainable on the trail, out in this environment, is also medical. Medical is very important. That's why it's in there. Have an IFAK, have a boo-boo kit, have extra tourniquets, have the things you're going to need to be able to take care of yourself. Some painkillers, some, short-term stuff. I'm not talking about I don't think you need antibiotics in your recce kit, but you need the ability to take care of yourself. One thing is, some people will think, oh, well, with all the aches and pains and stuff moving around through this, I'll take some muscle cream. Well, get unscented, because like he talked about in his video, Garand, smell travels a long ways. When you're out there in this stuff for extended periods of time, you're going to notice smells a lot more effectively than you do on a day-to-day basis, especially smells like that. Perfume smells, medicated smells, stuff, those kind of things. So anyway, you also need the ability to create fire, mainly for warmth. I don't take anything with me in a recce role that needs to cook. I don't need to cook my food. If I'm out there for extended period of time and I run out of the calories I carry with me and I need to hunt, trap, fish, whatever it may be, then I could also use the ability to start a fire for cooking food. But in a reconnaissance role, you don't want anybody to know you're there. This is key. You don't want to let out that smoke, that light, the sound, the smell, all those kind of things. You want to keep your signature as low as possible. So it's another thing, not just being physically fit, but training on how to move through this stuff. This kind of stuff, if I just went, took off back through there, I would make noise, period. Unless I was moving so slow that I would never get anywhere. So the ability to move through the woods is effective. You need to be effective at moving through the woods. One thing I'd like to see is comments in the comments section about what your take on recce roll is. What are some of the top things that you think are very important to have and or to know? Obviously you need to know land navigation. Obviously you need to know camouflage, inside out and backwards. You need to know how to take care of yourself out in this stuff. You need to be able to know how to hydrate, how to locate water, all these kind of things. Also, part of head on a swivel is recognizing signs, tracking, counter tracking, all those kind of things. Very, very important skill sets for a reconnaissance role. You need to be able to identify if somebody's moved through there before or not. Either go in that direction so they may be behind you, or if they went the direction you're headed and they may be in front of you, waiting for you, laying an ambush. So there's a lot to this. Like he mentioned in his video, you can go on for hours and hours, days and days. There's a lot to it, but I want to do a quick rundown of kind of the theory of use and what I use for a recce roll. Like I said, for the purposes of video length and my rural high-speed internet, I can't make super long videos because it'll take days to upload. So I'm going to do the pack as a separate video. It might be on Patreon, it might be here on YouTube. I don't know. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you guys. If you want to check out the links in the description below, great. Patreon, like I said, we do this kind of stuff on Patreon a lot. We also talk about other things. But SHTF as a prepper, how is this useful to you? Scouting. What about bugging out? That's my recce pack, but that could also be your bug out bag. Your I'm not coming home bag, your inch bag. Whatever you want to call it. This would be a good bug out setup. Because I'm able to move efficiently over rough terrain with it for extended periods of time. So think about that as preppers. Also, if we are in some big collapse or something like that lasts a long time, you're going to need to send guys out with the ability, with the equipment, with the proper equipment to go check out stuff, to reconnoiter areas, to find out what's going on in the world around us. You can't just stay in a bubble because then threats will be right on your doorstep or right at your perimeter, whatever. Even if you have a standoff perimeter, that's fine, that's good. But you will need to have the capability of getting out there. What are some other uses for this? Foreign invasion, just say, for example. If that happens, we need to be able to go out in the stuff and fight the good fight. We need to be able to defend our country. We need to be able to defend our communities, our way of life against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Think about that. It's a good ability to have, good capability to have. It's one setup. It's not an assaulter setup. It's not a patrolling setup. It is not a CQB setup. This is a recce setup, reconnaissance. So, I may also, actually I don't really need to go over the rifle. It's just an AR, 1:6 variable optic on it. Very simple, lightweight, capable rifle. I don't really need to go into all the stuff. Maybe I'll go into all the stuff on Patreon. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Think about this. Comment in the comment section about what your thoughts are on the recce roll. I'm sure I missed some stuff. Sure, of course. We all miss some stuff. We're here in front of the camera. We don't think of everything as it's rolling. And I don't edit. I need to get into that. I need to learn how to do it. But man, that's way outside my comfort zone, which means, yes, I need to do it. I need to get outside my comfort zone. Just like in a recce roll, if I'm on that stuff, it's slightly outside my comfort zone because we all get soft, right? I'm not out there doing this kind of stuff all the time. So I would be. But the more often we can get outside our comfort zone, get out and start doing stuff like this, the less it'll be outside our comfort zone, the more proficient at it we will be, and the better able we will be to fill the role effectively. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Please subscribe, hit the like button, comment below. Check out Garand. He's got a lot of good stuff. He has a lot of experience. Very, very good channel. Huge channel, sponsored, all the cool fancy things. I don't have all the fancy things, but I will tell you my knowledge and the truth as I know it. And I'll miss things. I may say things wrong. I have my 5-year-old correct me on videos often that I said the opposite. Like I'm talking about like doing something at night and I said day, vice versa. Sometimes it's like blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Please support the channel and support other channels like this, like his, because we need to stand up. We need to make our voices heard. We need to have conversations about things like this. Even though we are not liked by the powers that be, the system, whatever you want to call it. We need to have these capabilities. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.